Buddy, it's Jamie with gettingcrafty.net. That's gettingcrafty.net. I am super grateful to be with you guys live. We are creating the sweetest, most vibrant card I have created in a while, and I am so excited. As soon as I found out that one of my dearest friend's daughter was engaged, this was the first card that came to mind and how I wanted to create it. So nice to see you. I see Hilda is waiting for us, and I'm so excited that you're here, sister. Let's just double check all of our channels that we are live. If you are popping in and you're on a channel, let me know what channel you're on. Are you on Facebook? Are you on YouTube? If you're on Facebook, I don't always see the messages until you click on the original post. So I'm going to share that right now into our Getting Crafty Stampers group. And I want to make sure that we have that option. But if you're seeing a video within a screen, you just got to click on it. It'll take you right to it. I am fighting a touch of a cold, my friends. So I'm totally bummed because it's been a rough week. And I realized, I don't have a missing tooth. I just have a gap. I just looked at that today. I was like, gosh, that looks like a missing tooth. It's not. It's a gap. Don't get me laughing. Why would I do that, Hilda? Why would I do that? Okay, so let's go ahead and share that. If you're catching this live, I appreciate that so much. And want to make sure that you can hear us. Let's put this in our Getting Crafty Stampers group. Share to a group. Why does everything have to be like 3 steps? I don't know. I don't know, my friends. Why does it have to? But we have the cutest card. And so I am super stoked to be with you guys. It's a fun fold, and it's going to be celebrating 2 lives becoming 1, which if you are a Christian, you know that statement quite easily. That's quite common with people. Let's just take a check on the YouTubes. Can you see me on YouTube? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Hilda? Can you guys hear me on YouTube? I want to make sure. 2 lives becoming 1. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So I have the blog up, but the measurements aren't on there yet because I was busy posting another card or another envelope, a custom envelope for you guys that will tie to this card. I'm going to blow my nose. So I'm going to move my head. It doesn't help that we're having an extreme windstorm right now. It's super windy out, which is causing my nose to even be more. And I'm in some medical treatment that's in a full detox right now. And so it's causing like even more of a histamine reaction. It's a lose-lose, but the Lord has a plan. You guys, the Lord has a plan. So let's go ahead and dive right into creating this sweet card. Let me just show you really quickly. And this is the last day to order from Stampin' Up Celebration. And if you order with me and you use my hostess code, or if you join, you can get a free class coming in March. March 14th online and March 15th in person, where I'll send you a full class with lots of bonus goodies inside. It's kind of like you're going to be amazed. This is our sweet little custom envelope that you will see right here. And I'm sending it this way because it's going in the package. I'm actually creating the wedding invitations for basically my pseudo niece. And I wanted to send her a really sweet little card to celebrate her day. I love this girl so much. So this is kind of a card within a card, even though it's an envelope. I did create an actual envelope right here, and that's in that video. So you guys can catch the video right after this, and you will learn how to create 66 varieties of envelopes. I even have exact measurements on what I did to freehand them. But I'll be honest with you, freehanding is hard. At least for my creative brain, I am dyslexic. And so for me, I'm like, oh, I've got to really play with the numbers. And if you're an accountant, even my husband looked at me, he's like, that's not easy. So there you go. I have a cheat for you on my blog. You can see afterwards. Don't go now, go after, and then you can see it. So this is the sweet card we're going to be creating. You can use up your scraps. This is free celebration paper. Now I wanted to celebrate how 2 lives become 1. So that's kind of where this card came to mind. I have a tendency to tell stories in my head when I'm creating cards. Do you do the same thing? Do you create a card with a story built in? My friend Christine is not surprised. Her daughter would not be surprised either. They are very familiar with us. So especially me and my craziness. So this here is the card, and then it opens up and there's the 2 lives that become one, and there's the 4 seasons of life, right? The spring, summer, fall, and winter was the thought behind this, and it's all free paper. It's super vibrant. We also stamp on the inside, so this is part of the beautiful butterfly, right? Yep, beautiful butterflies, and that stamp set's free right now. It also comes with matching dies and embossing folder. Phenomenal. But we're going to create this right now at the stamping, and I'm going to teach you the trick to create the ink on the inside, which is slightly different as well. Let's go ahead and dive in to create this. It's a quickie. Like, you don't have to work very hard. And then again, you can put it inside of a custom envelope with ease and send it. I would not send this envelope loose the way it is because it has this die cut on the outside. But that's where some kind of envelope like this would come into play, right? You can seal it and actually mail it. And you can mail it from your scrap paper. Pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and dive in right now and create. I want to move my laptop. My laptop's probably about as live and loud as I am, which is kind of funny, right? Not that anybody should be surprised. So I'm so glad you can hear me, sister. I do have to blow my nose again. This will be our biggest challenge today. It really will. So hold on one second. I'm so tired of it, honestly. Losing patience, but I'm accepting that this is just a season today. Though I want to fight it. I want my body just to do what I want it to do. Am I the only one? Okay, let's turn around. Okay, so we are here. Let's straighten out a smidgy widgy and let's zoom in so you can see this up close. Again, we're going to look at this right here. This is the card for today and its little custom envelope. And when we open it, it is kind of a card within a card, or gift wrapping of a card. Does that make sense? And when you send one of our stamp, you can use your scraps up, which is really happy. Or if you take your paper hoard and use it up, it's a great way to use cards like this where you can really get a cohesive but vibrant card that celebrates people in your life. I wanted to be the first card. I want to be the first card for Karina. And what's funny is I was pregnant with my daughter, Karina, when I met Christine over crafting, her mom, and we ended up becoming very good friends over the last 16 plus years. I'm going to put my hair up while we're talking. And I just adore her. And then my daughter's name is Karina, and she didn't know that when I was pregnant. I didn't tell her until the baby was born. That's kind of our thing. Because people have been known to take our kids' names. It's weird. It's weird. Don't do that, people. That's what I have to say. Okay, so we have these little strips. This is one of our 12-inch cardstock in a basic white. It's not thick, so you really want to be kind of aware of that. And I actually don't mind that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't mind that it's not thick. And yes, I see my lipstick got smeared a smidge on the back. I'm also using the bone folder because there's a slight line where I went through and I cut it. And then I'm going to come back out and I'm creating a little Z fold right here, or I don't know if this would be considered a gatefold, but there's a lot of things that you could do with this technique to really wow. So we're going to come in again, feel the card that you're creating and get rid of that little rough edge on the back of it using your bone folder. You don't need to put a lot of pressure. You really need to take your bone folder at a 45-degree angle and just kind of go forward and then tuck it back. Just like that. And you want it so that it kisses. That's really kind of important for this. And it's going to be snug as a bug in a rug, you guys. This technique is tight. And there's a reason that it's tight. I want those 2 butterflies to become one. So when you look at it, stop putting it in here, Jamie. Okay. I want those 2 pieces of the butterfly to really become in sync. And that's your goal when you're married. Your goal is to join with your husband and become one. So that's kind of where my thought was. Now, I took these strips of this beautiful Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper, again, free through today. And I'm going to go through the edges because I wanted a cohesive look, but I wanted a variety of color. Dang on this nose. Hold on. Going to blot that right now and see if we could do this. And so we're going to go through, and I'm going to end up using, let me see if this one seems kind of heavy, our multi-purpose liquid adhesive. And you could create a variety here. I did not want the outside, I want the outside to have enough contrast so that the butterfly really popped, if that makes sense on these. And we'll end up die cutting those butterflies in just a second. So what I'm going to do is take this here, and I could take any of the colors, quite honestly. And I'm going to do a very thin line. Don't go juicy goosey. Just go light. Right there. And then you go right to the edge. Right there. And you want a little space between you and the edge so that you could fold. You don't want to be like super on tight of that fold. And that's also one of the reasons I put the adhesive slightly in. And I see it kind of smeared and smudged. It's smudged. And my nose sounds like I'm smudging myself. Oh my goodness. And I think it's getting worse as the evening progresses. It's so frustrating. Ugh. It's okay. I wanted to create a little bit of a variety that's different from this one. So let's take these here, and I want to show you. And again, the paper is double-sided, so you have a lot of flexibility with this. And I see it kind of like gooped right there, and I want to really like pull it in just a little bit. And you don't need a lot of adhesive on it. I see that it's going to slip out a smidge there. Right there. And you want to tuck it so that it's the seam isn't overlapping. That's really important here. Then we're going to open this up. Ooh, I see. This is one of the reasons why you guys need a glass mat also, is because you can collect all of your extra goopiness from the adhesive, and you're just going to throw it into your tissue, because why not? Jeez Louise. Hold on. Thank you for your patience tonight. If you're a sensory person and this is bugging you, I'm so sorry. I swear, there will be full measurements tonight on my blog. I need to go, after we're done, I do 2 lives every time. And so I will go down and do my second live here and then go downstairs. I have some orders last minute for customers for celebration that they don't want to miss out on. And I want to make sure I get it for them. And the seasons rotate, you guys. So like, doesn't really matter where they are, but I kind of want the vibe of fall, winter, spring, summer. So we're going to come in, and I don't know if that's going to actually translate, but the story in my head does. Everything I do has a story behind it, usually. And then when somebody takes time to figure out my stories, they're like, oh. One of my really good friends, Nina, is so patient with me, and she knows I'm an oral processor. So when we get on the phone, no joke, almost every one of our calls is like 3 hours because both of us are orally processing, and we are just soaking each other up. I love her so much. And I was just on the phone with my friend Chris this evening, who's out of town, and she's another one that I could just talk to forever and just be blessed by. Now, I can show you it's a little bowy, right? Because the paper is a little tight in there, and this is where you get to be manipulative. So you're going to put the seam together and kind of push out right there and create a little pinch. Right there. We're creating a little pinch, and we're going to bone fold that. Now, that's where I get manipulative on the cards. I want to tell the card what I want, even though it's right on the score line. It's because I didn't trim it down any. These are literally like the whole panel size, and you can trim it down, but I don't mind pinching it in order to get the appeal of what I want. It's kind of like parenting. I can manipulate it just as easily as... That's not true. My kids are not easily manipulated, in case you were wondering. I'm just zapping that up. My kids are smart to my game. Okay, now we're going to die cut these butterflies really quick. So this stamp set is free right now, my friends. And through today, the Beautiful Butterflies is a beautiful suite. It's got a bundle. It's gorgeous. And I really think it works great with this vibrant paper that you see right here. But we're going to go ahead and modify that so that we're going to end up using this stamp set, but also the coordinating dies, which is where we're going to, we did a card about 2 weeks ago where we used, this is the die cut that we got out of it. And now I've used it 2 different ways. You'll see a upload on my blog probably tomorrow or this week. And with how we used that, it's actually used it for a funeral, believe it or not. And so it's one of those things, my friends, one of those things. Now we're going to grab that die from that beautiful die set. It's a really neat die set, and you want it if you're going to grab that bundle. And then we're going to take our cut and trimmer that you see right here. And believe it or not, I just die cut them at the same time. So I just stick this in. I'm going to back out. Ready? Just a smidgy widgy. Then we're going to stick that die. Where did I put the die? Hilda, you know me well enough. I can lose a die in minutes while being on there. If you guys haven't already, like and share the video. If you comment, I'll be giving away a really fun little gift today. And so make sure you're commenting and let me know what you think as we're going through. That really is helpful. And I gotta blow my nose again. For heaven's sakes, every time I bend my head down, which I'm doing because I'm crafting. Ugh. And thank God you can't catch it cold through this, like through the screen. You're welcome. But we're being really diligent to not go out and make sure we don't contaminate anybody with our germies, because other people don't do that same diligence, and then you end up just being part of the masses, catching the yucky. So I'm going to go forward, and you feel the release of pressure and you see it peeking out. That means it's over the center line. That's where it's cutting. So I'm just going to back. You don't have to generally, but I like to. Now we're going to use one of my favorite tools. Are you ready? Yes, we are. We're going to put this bad boy to the side so that I don't drop it. That's one of the things I love about our cut and emboss machine. It's super easy to navigate and use. So there is that. Let me blow my nose again. If you guys haven't already, just comment and let me know what you're thinking. Now, one of the free tools we have with Stampin' Up! Is not our Take Your Pick tool. This is one of the best tools that you will ever get in your whole freaking life. Right there, Take Your Pick tool. But through today only, their tips are, their crafting tips are added on for free as well. And I want to use this little pokey tip that you see right here. That pokey tip is going to do all the work for me. And I'm going to grab a scrap of paper and stick it right here. Then we're going to take and just kind of pierce out all of these little bits and bobbles. As you see right here, go in and it's going to release it from the die. And there's 2 in here. So I did half the work like already, or double the work, not half the work. We could blame the congestion for the season. I know it's going around, but I have no patience with anything slowing me down, quite honestly. Am I alone in that? I also would love to point out, this is great confetti. If you're wondering like what I'm talking about. So if you were to put it in the card, and I'll show you, we'll do that at the end. It makes for a really fun confetti and it coordinates. So do it. Do the confetti. And I will probably include confetti into the card that I send them because I'm always over the top. I'm always going to go over the top. And then I put my tip on here. It protects the tip. It also protects my hand in case I grab it. There's an X-Acto knife. This is a great tip set. I really love it. Make sure you grab yours. Now we have 2 butterflies that you will see right in here. There's the purple and the blue. And we actually have the floral version on the back, but we're not going to, I don't want floral on floral. That's just too much. It is. And I know I'm too much a lot of times, but this is where I say don't go too much. Okay. This is where we're going to get our paper trimmer. And keeping it together, we're going to use the score line. So the score tip is the lighter colored and the cutting tip is the dark. Tuck your cutting tip down into the bottom. And then stick this here in the middle. And you can see right where it's going to score. Keep your finger on the butterfly. And then make sure you grab the right tip. Like, repeat with me. Lighter is lighter pressure. It's not going to cut it. I asked my daughter how I could stop with the runny nose, and she's like, stop breathing. Sure. That's the kind of help I get at my house, my friends. And I wanted to put a coordinating little score line down the center of the butterfly. Can you see that, you guys? And now they match because they were die cut together. Now they match together, and they're supposed to. They're a couple. They're going to get married. And then we're going to free those butterflies. Now, what's really interesting is I actually released live butterflies at my wedding when I was married in 2000. So 25 years ago. Yeah. Okay. And so we're going to fold that you'll see right here and make sure your butterfly lines up edge by edge. Kind of go here and be gentle. This is a very delicate little butterfly. And we're going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom you in just a smidgy widgy. And then Go back, make sure that your wings line up so that you get a pretty balanced butterfly. I can't wait. Like, I love celebrating life with people. It's one of the best gifts ever. And so this makes me really happy, especially since I've been in this young lady's life and she's been in ours, and she's a fundamental, she was my kid's babysitter. She was everything. Like, she has been a sounding board. She's a very wise young lady. She's an adult. She is a nurse who helps her now fiance as a youth pastor run their church's youth program. And she has served for as many years as I can remember, quite honestly. And I love that family. Okay, so we have 2 matching butterflies. And when they're put together, look it! Isn't that fabulous? Then we're going to take this here. And one of the things you want to do is grab an embossing buddy whenever you're using adhesive, especially with a tight project like this. And then this is where we get a little hanky. This is where it gets a little creative. Stick your butterfly on one side here and close it, right? Stick your other butterfly so that it kisses right here. Open it up and tuck this in. You want them to meet up. That's going to be, again, this is where it's going to get a little manipulative. That's where you have to compromise. That's where it is. It's compromising. And so they're going to really line up, and you want to make sure that they're pretty balanced. So you can start with one of the sides and tuck it in. This becomes a little hanky. Sorry. Okay. We'll worry about the other side in just a second. We're going to come in and make sure it's pretty balanced. Come on up. I like the contrast of the pink and the blue there, the azure blue, azure afternoon. It's really a pretty blue. Hi, Lindsay. I love that, sister. Make sure you get your order in today with Stampin' Up with me so that we can hook you up with a free class online on March 14th, girl. And if you're going to be going to the crafting cruise, you guys, I will be in August in California for the wedding, and it's the week before a crafting cruise. So I am super excited to be there with my pseudo family. Oh, look at that. It's a lot of pressure. Hold on. If you guys are going to do the crafting cruise, limited spots are available, and it's coming up on the due date to get your deposit in. And we're just going to kind of paint a really fine line here on the fatter parts of this butterfly, right there. And there's pressure, so it's releasing. So let's find where we're going to put the butterfly right there. Yes, you do need to, sister. And then I can send you that free class. And then if you're going to get that crafting cruise, gosh, it would be fun. Bring Dad. Her father's actually been on one of our crafting cruises before. He's all man, but his wife was one of my favorite people, and she was on one of my crafting cruises, and they were together, and I just love Bill. Okay, so then we're going to take this butterfly, and holding that piece there, I'm holding the inside piece. We're going to come in and just kind of do the outside of this wing. You don't want it to be heavy. I know the pressure is kind of raising that glue up. So do it as lightly as you can here. Right there. Boom, shakalaka. Once it's adhesive on the outside, do this. Grab that embossing buddy and pat the heck out of it. Absorb any extra adhesive that might pop through. You can even let it dry or smear it just so that it dries up. It's not as heavy. And then you can come in with the embossing buddy, and that talc will fill in the adhesive. It's also great for your fingers so that you don't do the transferring data. Now, when we open the card, I feel like it's a little sticky back here, and it's probably right there on that edge. Again, the embossing buddy makes it so easy to do that. We're going to open the card all the way. Then we're going to take this side of the butterfly, pulling it back, just do a little bit on the outside. Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be crazy. And kind of go in right there so that it can close. So see how I pulled it open so that I knew where it was? And I did not adhesive the center. Why? Because I want it to be able to breathe, because it's a foldable thing. This is a fun fold, and you want to make sure that you are able to fold it. If you put it on the seam too hard, it will tear it, and you just don't want to do that. This is such a perfect, my friend Monique loves purple, and she would have loved this card. She will love this card when she eventually sees it. She'll catch my cards usually later. And so we're going to put it on there and then kind of close and finger the edges of the card so that the butterfly goes down. Kind of smear away any extra glue. And usually I'm able to control that, but because it's been upside down, and I don't know enough about weather, but I think because the pressure has been really high with the wind and the rain and everything's been changing from snow to the fake spring, it has a tendency to like put pressure into our tubes. So there is that. Hi, Linda. Nice to see you. Now we're going to grab the Wink of Stella because we didn't do that on the other card. And we're just going to grab it and just throw some on the butterfly wings here. I wanted to add a little zhuzh because it's a little extra. Now, does the boy card side of the butterfly need it? No. But everybody needs Wink Stella. It's a secret. It's not. You guys just wink it. It's really easy to do. And it's a small cosmic fine glitter. And then we're going to open that card. And this is celebrating when two become one. Do you see that? Is it too hard to figure out what I'm trying to do? Does that make sense to anybody? Can you guys comment and let me know? If you're a Christian, you understand that reference. Not everybody does. So there is that. I'm going to blow my nose again. Thank you for your patience. I'm so sorry. I'm blaming the wind because I refuse to live in the truth that it might be might be a sickness. Okay, so I'm getting foozles from the glue that's on my finger. So that's where one of the things I will end up doing is grabbing my Simply chamois while I'm creating, and do this. Grab your chamois and clean your finger. Get the glue off of your finger. Just do it. There you go. And then if you're worried, use the embossing buddy to do that. Now, we have this stamp from the Beautiful Butterfly. It's a gorgeous stamp set, really easy to use. You don't need the dies, but you want the dies, I promise you. You want these dies. And I'm going to use the coordinating colors, Azure Afternoon and Peach Pie. So that's the peach, and the butterfly is in the azure. Azure. But that peach pie is really dark. And I'm going to be honest, like really dark, my friends. So let's grab a scrap here of paper. I'm just grabbing right behind me, like my little pile, maybe. Grab a decent sized scrap, Jamie. I have a lot of scraps. Okay, so this is where the little technique to create that really soft butterfly inside that you see right there. And then we just overstamp it. So now it's decorated on the inside. Oh, that's a good idea. There's also one, Suzanne, called, it's potty words. It's called Kick-Ass Immune. And Kick-Ass Immune is this really strong herbal. It'll knock it out. I just didn't start it right away, and I was kind of foolish. Now, we're going to grab the butterfly and ink up the peach pie, which I think is a beautiful color. Do not get me wrong. Super pretty. And because it's photopolymer, you can use the glass mat, but I want a little extra push on this. So we're going to stick this here on our scrap paper. We're going to stamp softly, just kind of get a release, and then we're going to breathe on it. That's called kissing it. And then you huff and puff and blow the house down. And you can actually, I should have just done this on the mat. Right there. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Look how dark that is, and look how much softer this is. And if you give it a second to kind of absorb, it will soften a little bit. Then we take, and not softening this, Time to Celebrate right across the pretty butterfly. This is a great way to send somebody some hope and in love, and I hope it brings them joy. I want to celebrate with them even though I am so many thousand miles away, because I love that family. And I was actually just on the phone with my girlfriend today about it. So I am excited to be part of it, even if it's a small part. Now, remember we talked about having it as a confetti card? Put your confetti in, close your card up, and so when they open it, it's going to have confetti. So they, like that. Can you see how it'll pop? Yes, I'm going to end up sending confetti to my friends because I want to celebrate. So this is our sweet little card, 2 different lives that become one over the seasons of life. You can easily see how fun it would be to write over the butterfly. Nice dark ink pad would make it easy. I hope it brings people joy. And so we're going to end up pulling a winner tonight. So if you guys comment and let me know what you think, I'll give you that second while I get this down, this little smush. Again, grab these tips. These are awesome to have on hand. They do make your crafting better. And because we used that liquid adhesive and it's kind of shmeary, and that's an official term, my friends, shmeary. We're going to take that embossing buddy from the embossing kit and we're going to just kind of pat. It will not dull the wink of Stella. It will, and you want to make sure that you don't bend the butterfly. Don't bend the butterfly. And just kind of make sure you've absorbed, and that talc will just fall off, which is pretty cool. I did have a friend who was allergic to the talc, so there is that. Let me blow my nose again. Holy cow. Sorry, I was trying not to honk tonight. Good night. Okay, so what is your favorite part of this card? Do you like it? Do you love it? If you guys didn't see, I actually have a full video tutorial I uploaded before this with a custom envelope and showing you how to create custom envelopes with ease. This is from a die cut we did a few weeks ago that I've used 2 different ways now. And I created a custom envelope for this sweet little card that will go to my sweet Karina. And I know that when my daughters go and get ready, that my friend Christine will end up being one of the first cards that they receive. And so that makes me super happy. So between Christine and our cousin Esther, that's a family that is addictive and I love them. And then I did stamp the back, time to celebrate. And if you wanted to send a card that you could mail, that's where you would actually just close it up. And it looks like it's got an envelope liner because our paper is double-sided. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you want some more? So if you excuse my Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I'm going to put my head down so you guys can't see how red it is. Oh, right? Gross. We have a sweet envelope that I created earlier today. It's again why I didn't finish my full blog with measurements because I was playing with the envelope. And I did just tack this one down because this is going in a package with stuff that I'm sending to them as a sample for their wedding invitations. And so I wanted her to be able to open it that way. And then those little bits were in there. Imagine when she opens it, it would be like, huzzah! But then here is that little card that is going to go to them. And it is a great time to celebrate. When people are living life, make sure you're part of it. Send a card that will last and it'll be great. I do encourage you if you ever send cards because life is precious and you don't know what days you're promised. It sounds very morbid. But make sure that you sign the back and when you made it. So I'll sign it back, made by Jamie, I love you. And then I'll put February 2025. And then one day when she has kids, I'll send her a baby card and I just can't wait. I'm going to be part of their life, the part of their journey. And this is a super vibrant card. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you want more of it? I hope it translates well to a wedding card, but maybe not necessarily a traditional wedding card. Hold on one second. Okay. Sucky. This is the card for this evening. You can see the tutorial will be up later. The pictures are already on my blog and all the measurements will be up later. It's a very simple Z fold. It can be mailed. It's a non-traditional size. I would have it hand posted. So that would take it to my postmaster and she would mark it with a hand stamp. So I see here, and I just want, Hilda, are you in the United States? I thought that you were. Can you tell me if you are or not? Susan, Lindsay, Linda, and Hilda. If you guys can send me a message, either on Instagram, on my Getting Crafty Stamping, or on my Facebook page at gettingcrafty.net. Hold on. Stupid nose. I will send you a sweet gift that's in the mail. I have a great little paper collection that I'm going to send you guys as my thank you for showing up tonight and commenting. Make sure you like and share this video because sharing is caring and priceless and free. Which I love free. This is our card for the evening. Thank you for joining me. I hope it makes you smile as much as it did me. I think it's pretty nifty. I think it's nifty. Have a great evening, you guys. God bless. Thanks for joining and creating and connecting over card making and crafting, making the cards a world a more beautiful place, one handmade card at a time.